What's up, everyone? This is Roxy, Firewife Lawyer Mom. Today, we are going to tackle the meal plan. Get ready.
The wind will let go. We'll be free. So forget the fear. Come out of hiding. Breathe in the air. We are deciding now. Let's get carried away, yeah.
All right, everyone, welcome to Firewife Lawyer Mom. My name is Roxy, and I'm here to just bring to you guys as many great videos as I can. Hopefully I am a good resource for all of you with regards to homeschool and mom life, and especially juggling life in general, juggling it all, right? Because us as parents, we juggle a lot of things, and so we need to try to make our lives as easy as possible so that we can be able to, have some me time, right? And meal planning is all about that. Meal planning is part of the entire meaning of why we need to plan ahead for these things so that we can live our lives much simpler, much easier, and have more fun, right? So why is it important to have a meal plan, okay? Number one, if you're a busy person like I am, you definitely need to have a meal plan. Why? Because it's going to make your life a lot easier. I used to not be a meal planner. I used to be somebody who would just, that around 4 or 5 o'clock comes and I would ask my husband, babe, what do you want to eat for dinner? And it was always this, I don't know, what do you feel like eating? I don't know, what do you feel like? Does this sound like your conversation? Well, this was my conversation. And then it was, well, we figured it out. We went to the store. We were cooking dinner at 7:30. We had a bunch of dishes to wash by 10 p.m. And by the time we were done cleaning up from all of it, it was like midnight and time to go to bed. And we had absolutely no time to enjoy for ourselves because we hadn't planned ahead. So I definitely recommend that you meal plan. And I'm going to show you guys, because there's a lot of YouTube videos out there that talk about meal planning. A lot of moms out there sharing videos. But I think that I'm going to show you a very simple way that you can get meal plans done and done quickly, okay? So number one, if you're busy like me, you need to have a meal plan so that you know by the morning time what you're going to be making. Sometimes you can even prepare that food ahead of time, which I'm going to show you in a minute. The second reason why you should have a meal plan is because it helps your food to last and not go bad. How many times have we had boxes of lettuce or fruit or vegetables that just go bad and we end up throwing them away? There is probably a huge statistic, but I went and I looked this up, okay? And people spend around $1,500 a year on food that goes bad and is wasted. I mean, that's crazy. What could you have done with $1,500? You could have gone on a weekend somewhere for $1,500, right? So it just happens all the time. People waste money on food. It just goes bad, and I can't stand seeing that. And that was one of the things that kind of motivated me to get really intentional about my meal plans. Now, number three, it saves money, right? How many times have you been in the situation where you don't know what's for dinner and you end up eating out, getting takeout? Uber Eats, I think, has been the number one destruction of the food budget in America, in the world, because it's so easy. We've got right at our fingertips somebody that can come and bring us food. But what are we spending money on? We're spending money on delivery fees, on service charges, on all these kinds of stuff when we can make meal plans ourselves. Now, for me, I was that type of person. But when the pandemic hit, right, when the COVID-19 hit, everything was closed. Restaurants were mostly closed. It was really crazy, right? And so I took the time to say, hey, even though things are closed down, we still like to eat well. I mean, we're foodies, we like to eat good food. So I figured I better start learning how to meal plan and how to cook delicious food so that we can be able to still kind of feel like we enjoy, this time, that even though all of this craziness was going on, we still had that stability of having these meals. So it saves time. It helps you from wasting your food. And it's definitely great for the busy mom out there or the busy dad, okay? So here I'm going to show you in a few steps what's the best way to do it. So there's two things that I recommend that you do when you meal plan and when you get ready to say, hey, I'm gonna get organized about my meals. The first thing you need to do is get a notebook, a binder, okay? Look at this. This is my meal planning binder. I recommend it 100%. And I'm going to show you what's in this amazing thing, okay, in just a little bit. The second thing to do, and this is right behind me, is get a crock pot slow cooker or an Instapot. This has been the savior of my life, this crock pot slow cooker. Why? Because if you're having one of those really busy nights, like for example, for me, on Tuesdays and on Wednesdays are my busiest days. Why? Because my kids have soccer and dance and we don't get home till really late. So having a slow cooker, an Instapot type of thing is going to help you to be able to set that meal there and forget about it and know that when you come home you've got a hot meal. So definitely and there are tons and tons of recipes that you can use for meals that are just for Instapots, just for slow cookers. So I definitely recommend on a really busy night, because all you do is you wake up in the morning, usually right before you have to go to work or homeschool or whatever, you throw everything in that slow cooker. I mean, look, I've got my slow cooker here, and this thing has been going since 10:30, and it's going to be ready at 6:30, and I am about to make a meal like a boss come out of that thing when 7:30 hits and people start getting hungry. So it's really an amazing thing. So two things, a crock pot or an Instapot, and definitely a meal planning binder. Okay, so the first step when you are going to sit down, so when should you do your meal planning? Well, I do my meal planning I spend 1 hour, about 45 minutes to an hour, either Saturday or Sunday, and I plan all of my meals for the week. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We can't forget about breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because a lot of times we plan dinner, but we don't plan breakfast and lunch, and then we're having the same issue. We're eating out, we're just eating whatever, eating junk, just throwing something together, and there's no plan for it. So what I do is I sit down every Saturday or Sunday, depending on what I'm doing that weekend, and I look at what is inside. This is step number 2. What is inside your cabinets, your pantry, your refrigerator? What do you have now on hand that you can make a meal with? Now, we as a society have so much food. Like if right now the entire supermarket chain of every supermarket were to shut down and there would be no food, hence that kind of happened during COVID. But anyway, if everything shut down, you would have to eat from your actual pantry and your refrigerator, right? I bet you probably have about 6 to 10 meals that you can make just out of what is in your pantry. So that's the first thing I do. I look at, okay, what kind of produce do I have in my refrigerator that's going bad, or that's kind of getting to that point, right? I look at that stuff. I look at what's going bad in my pantry, if it's getting close to that expiration date. Do I have any canned food? Now, canned food, guys, don't get scared. I'm not talking about eating these kind of like emergency canned meals. I'm talking about you may have some beans that are in there that are in a can that you can make chili with, or you could make a bean soup with. So look at what you have first. So I try to look at what I have. Sometimes I have some extra food that maybe I didn't use in a meal or so, and I look through that, and I kind of make a little list of what I actually have in my pantry and in my refrigerator. Okay, so it's very, very important, because sometimes you go to the store and you end up buying more of what you already have when you could probably make meals. Now, there's some pretty good websites out there that will help you to make a plan, a meal, out of ingredients that you just have on hand. So, I believe it's called allrecipes.com, and I'll link it in the description box below, but there is a website where you literally can type in an ingredient and you can find what you can make with that ingredient. It's pretty phenomenal. So that's the second step that I do, okay, is that I look at what is in my refrigerator that I can maybe make a meal with. The third thing I do is then I say, okay, well, I've got maybe 1 or 2 meals I can kind of slap together with what I have. So what can I do for the rest of the meals? So what I do is I sit down and I make a plan. So I use 2 websites that I use to do my meal planning, okay? I try to keep it as simple as possible. I found 2 great blogs that have awesome meals. The first one is Damn Delicious. That's a website. Damn Delicious. Damn Delicious is a wonderful lady who makes the most amazing meals. I actually made all of my Thanksgiving recipes from this website. Okay, I will link it in the description box below, but it is a fantabulous website because, again, you can type in any kind of ingredient and find a meal from that. I love those kinds of sites because that's what the busy mom like me needs. For example, if I need to make a meal, I have some chicken in the fridge. I need to make chicken. I type in chicken. It'll show me all of the recipes where I could use chicken with, okay? Now, the second one I use is I follow this wonderful YouTuber, and her name is, the YouTube channel is called Domestic Geek. Domestic Geek, right? Kind of like a nerd, but Domestic Geek. That's her name. And she is amazing, guys. She has some really great videos where she teaches you how to cook meals, but she does it in such a simple way that for me, who I really wasn't a big cooker, a big cook when I kind of started to get into this stuff, I was not good at cooking. I could maybe make eggs and some tacos, and that was it. So she does a really great job of explaining step by step what are the kinds of things that you need to make stuff. And you know, it ends up being, once you really learn how to cook, you can really find that there's only about 12 to 17 ingredients that you really need for everything, okay? So those are the two websites I look at, and I then start to plan my meals. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to turn the camera around, and I'm going to show you my meal planning binder and what I have in it, and I'm going to show you how I actually go through and get these meals planned. So watch this. All right, everyone. So the first thing that you should invest in is just a regular blank note paper, okay? Notebook. So just invest yourself in a notebook. I got this cute one from Hobby Lobby. And this is where you're going to use to just kind of jot down what is in your pantry and what is in your refrigerator. Just do a little inventory, okay? So remember, it's really important to see what you have. So what I do is I first start by writing in this notebook, okay? I just kind of jot it down, nothing fancy. What do I have in there? Then I go into my meal planning binder, okay? And I'm going to show you how I divide my meals and organize them. So I just got a regular binder. This is nothing fancy either. I got it at Target during back to school season, and it's really cute because it's all flowery. It was actually my daughter's, and I took it over. But I have a meal planning binder, and so what I do is, if you can see here, I'm going to try and show it to you as best that I can. So what I have here is some really cool forms. Now, I am not responsible for these forms. These are from the Budget Mom, and I will link her website below where I got these weekly menus and meal planning sheets, but I love them. They're very organized. They're amazing. She has a whole meal planning system, and I use her system in order to organize my meal planning, okay? So what I do is I have here blank forms that I use for each week, okay? And I'm going to go through the forms in a minute. The second thing that I do is I take my binder and I divide it. So what do I divide it in, huh, Roxy? What do I divide it in? Well, this is what I do. I have tabs here for each of the different menu things. Now, how do I divide my meal planning? I divide it by protein. Why do I do that? Because if, let's say, you've got some meat in the fridge and you want to know, what can I make with this meat? Then you can find all the stuff that you can make meat with. Some people divide it by, let's say, like Chinese food, and they divide it into Chinese, Italian, Latin food, Mexican food, whatever. I don't like doing that. I like to do it by protein so that I know when I have that thing on hand, I can figure out what kind of recipes can I make. So I have one for meat, one for chicken. I have another binder for fish. I have another divider for Italian food, because this is basically just all my pasta. Okay, anytime I have pasta on hand and I want to make a pasta dish, I have all of those there. And then here I have just some side dishes. So we always like to have a side dish with our protein. So these are all my side dishes. I have one for appetizers. And usually my appetizers are soups and salads, okay? A lot of times we like to have soup for dinner. I like to make really hearty soups. This is a really great recipe from Damn Delicious. Again, she's got some amazing stuff. Then my last one is dessert, which I really don't use a lot, mainly for the holidays. This is a red, white, and blue July 4th cookie, okay? And then I have my breakfast ideas, okay? And so as you can see here, these are some of my old weekly menu ideas. So what I do is, and these again, all these forms are from the Budget Mom, and I love, love, love her. I think she has amazing, she also has a great budgeting program. So if you definitely are interested in that or you need that, check out her website and check out her YouTube channel as well. So this is a great form because what it does is it takes every day of the week and it separates it into recipes and recipe source. Let me see if I can kind of zoom in here so you could see. Hopefully it's clear enough for you. And so what you do is when you find your recipes that you like, that you want to use for that week, you put here what the recipe source is, whether it be the website or what ingredients that you may not have that you have to get at the store. So this is kind of the first thing that I look at for my dinner. Now for lunch and breakfast, my kids and my husband pretty much eat about 2 or 3 of the same things. So I don't really make a plan for that. We just rotate between the 2 or 3 things that they already eat. Guys, I don't get very fancy with breakfast and lunch. I know there's some YouTube channels out there where they make these beautiful lunches and they're, you know, shaped like star sandwiches and all kinds of things. I ain't got time for that stuff, okay? I'm trying to get everything done as much as I can in as least time as possible. So my main focus is dinners because of the fact that my kids, but I still do keep that planning alive with regard to my lunch and my breakfast in the sense that I make sure I've got what I need so that breakfast is one and done and is also planned as well. Okay, so once I get through those weekly meal ideas, then I kind of go into what my shopping list is going to be. So as I am filling in my breakfast, lunch, and dinner for that week, okay, this is the weekly menu of everything, okay? So the other sheet I just showed you is just for my dinners, okay? Because my dinners are a little bit more elaborate than my breakfasts and my lunch. Now, I'll do a separate video on breakfast and lunch ideas for you guys, but I don't want to make this video too long. So once I have planned my dinners, I will write all of those dinners here. I will write all of the lunches here and the breakfasts here for everyone. So this is going to be my go-to. This is what I'm going to open up every morning so that I know what am I going to be eating that day. Okay? Now, I transfer then what I have here into my shopping list. Let me show you what that looks like. All right, everyone, so when I am done filling out this entire sheet here with my breakfast, lunch, and dinner columns, then I go ahead and move into what I'm actually going to need to buy, what I need to buy at the store, right? So what I do is, again, these are all from the Budget Mom. I use this amazing grocery list. And what I love about this grocery list, and I'm going to try to zoom in a little bit for you guys, is that it separates it by the different departments of the grocery store. Produce, pantry, other, it has deli and dairy, frozen, bakery, drinks, and meat and fish. So I love that because then when I'm at the grocery store, I'm not running all over the place at different aisles to try to find what it is that I need for the week. So I really love this. Now, I'm an old school. There are other, I'm sure, apps that you can do grocery lists for where you can, put them on your phone and all of that stuff. I'm very old school with it. I like taking my little piece of paper. It really helps me to, see it on paper, cross it off the list, and make sure. I've got a silly bug here. Silly bug. All right. So it helps me to cross off the list. So this is what I use to then take to the grocery store. And that's pretty much it, guys. My meal is planned. All right, guys, so that's it. That's my meal plan. Meal planning. That seems pretty simple, right, guys? All you need to do is just make a plan. It's really not as difficult as you guys think. It's really just sitting down and writing it down. So hopefully this was a helpful video. If you have any questions, if you have any tips on how you meal plan, please leave a comment below. I would love to hear some more ideas. And also definitely hit subscribe, because there's more videos to come, and I just can't wait to continue to share things with you that will help you in getting all of your stuff done and getting your meal plan, one and done. So thank you so much. Make sure to hit the like button if you like this video. Hit subscribe. Definitely you can follow me also on Firewife Lawyer Mom 911 on Instagram. Right now, I've got some hungry kids, some silly bugs over here, and I got to get my Instapot. Whoop, there it is. My Instapot ready, because dinner's coming soon. So see you guys. Gotta go. Bye-bye.